present what DepEd is moving forward. So trustworthy AI starts with a trustworthy institution. So there's a need for development of a policy. Kanina nag-discuss ni Sir kung nagamit ba ang SESU AI sa platform na AI sa university. And my answer is, we don't have one big platform that has AI. Only that everyone can use AI, but we do have yet the policy on how to govern the use of AI tools for academic settings. That's one of our priority agenda for this year, to create policy that will manage, organize, or govern the use of AI tools. Integrity mechanism, robust and transparent assessment. Integrity mechanisms ensure trust, data governance, and bias mitigation. Okay, so this is not part of your activity. This is not part of your work, I think, but it should start from here. Okay, we have a lot of things. We have a lot of money that can provide us the platform, the digital infrastructure. But we don't have policy that is very suited for everyone. So, one itong isang demonstration in the Philippines. Second is people and capacity. Okay? AI-ready institutions require AI-ready people. Are your people or your teachers are ready for an AI? Yes or no? Or are you yourselves ready for an AI-powered institution or schools? Ready na ba mo? O, di sa manubag. So, nagamit na mo iyan. Ito ba sa ready na ba mo? Hindi pa. So, don't worry. Wala man tayong problema kung ready or not ready.
Sa ID.
Tanan dito, pagulong dito. Okay, what I mean is that, are we ready for the future, for the very next future with AI-powered institutions? Okay, especially that we are in the forefront of management and decision makers. AI literacy, professional development, faculty empowerment, AI competencies. So, next one, kung ano kayo yung structure na may AI, pero yung tao, or even yourself, has no capacity to use and how to responsibly use the tool of AI, then hindi ka maximize ang value for the AI. And the third is context-responsive curriculum and innovation. So meaning to say, context-sensitive. Every part of a certain organization or certain region should be context-sensitive. Di man pwede imong curriculum i-build nimo for example, for Iloilo. Lahit man ang culture sa taga Iloilo, na imo kong i-infuse diri sa taga Surigao. Lahit man na. So, katong mother tongue, I think there was something in it nung medyo wala siya ng basta. Although the direction is very good, no, but I think that in the implementation, mag-display na lang tayo.
Sinubuhan nun.
Makasuhan
Nag-learn din sa another language.
So, I mean the context of
meaning
that,
sa first
not
language.
everything can be fitted for a certain region.
Correct.
No? Although we have this general sense of how curriculum is being made, but on the application should be contextualized in the region. Di ba pwede nga matulog at Ilonggo diri sa mga Bisaya kung ingana siya ang context kay malahit-lahit naman yung meaning, di ba? Kung ang color, sa ganing ang color sa Binisaya, bulok, tama ba po? Or wrong po? Sa Surigao mo, lahipon na. So, pag-abot diri sa dako sa bata, mag-lisod na po na siya dito sa university, which honestly the university has also concerns of those incoming mga freshmen sa university because there are a lot of things that we need to have our interventions also. It's coming in. That's what we're talking about in the future. That's what we are envisioning, how a university, how an institution or school to be AI ready. But going back to the Global South, reality check. Ang realidad daw sa Global South. AI is not only making strides in the universities across Global South, but now AI is considered the new digital divide, according to McNaughton. Are you familiar with digital divide? Okay? The digital divide isn't just about access to technology, it's increasingly about the ability to use artificial intelligence meaningfully within education systems. As emerging economies consider AI adoptions, we need models that speak to their specific context rather than imposing approaches designed for higher resource environments. It is not about kamalo na kang gamit sa technology, but divide hapon kung dili mo siya magamit meaningfully sa technology. And it's happening everyone, everything else. And so that's one of the concerns in the Global South. The Global South also faces significant connectivity and capacity. No, bisan diri kay mag-mobile na lang ka kay sa inyong schools wala kun may mga structure for education. Really, someone should be a champion for this. Kay di man pwede nga
Tapos ato ka
masagdan lang po, no?
Kamu.
Kay may mga marami din naman mo imong di ba? 100,000 per month. So, apin na yung mga kwan. So, we have to recalibrate also what we need, what we want to prioritize for our education centers. Only 16% of countries have data privacy law. We have one, actually. And 1 in 4 primary schools lack electricity, especially in
After
Africa.
the supervisor ko.
Only 36% of households in lower income Asia have internet access, and many schools poor infrastructure. Limited access to technology hinders learning opportunities. AI cannot be meaningfully deployed wherein the fundamentals are not met. UNESCO reminds us that the right to education includes the right to meaningful connectivity. Yet millions of learners in the Global South remain offline and underconnected. It is not the lack of AI tools that holds institutions back. It is the absence of the basic digital foundations needed to use them safely and effectively. When AI models can isa, I wanted to focus on the data sovereignty. Fairness in data management remains a significant concern. We have the term digital colonialism. If you are familiar with how the AI are being created or developed by these tech giant companies. So unsa man ang mga tech giant na companies? We have Apple, Google, Nvidia, etc. They are mostly in the West. We don't have this technology that is developed in ours. Meaning to say, katong ilang model na ilang i-develop is being trained by their data within themselves. So, digital colonialism in a sense na imo tong gamiton ang technology just to fit into your need in your current country. So, dili siya maayo because the model was fit for them, cannot be applied for us. Only that we don't have ours, so wala akong igamit. So wala akong iingon na be careful in the use of AI and GPT tools because it might lead to biases and hallucinations. Kumbaga, sige, familiar with hallucinations? Kanang pataka na lang, in short ba, nagpataka na lang ka tubag, nag-hallucinate ka. Tagaan mo prompt, ngayon kag-input, kunya, mahatag mo din siya o result. But more ako ingon, the result might not be that the realistic na result. Mahatag na siya. Pero kung dili mo tanawon, dili mo i-refer to something else, then that result is a false result. And that's one of the model, no? Hallucination ang tawag na to, ana. mag-hallucinate na siya, magpataka na siya, pull out. Kay,
Pataka bitaw.
pattern naman ang iyang ipakita.
Tinod bitaw, pataka na bitaw siya.
Baka ba siyang Bisaya?
Inputting the prompt in the GPT kung gusto ka muhatag o tinuod na output. Nice siya kay cohesively structured, everything kay na nindot siya basahon. But make sure na tinuod ko nga outcome or output based on unsa nga references or unsa nga study or report.
gihapon sa ato.
Other thing aside from digital divide is the digital discombobulation. This is just a term referring about how anxious or overwhelmed are you in using technology. Kung makadungog ka, AI na po, robot na po, saan ba mag-learn of something, etc. It is not just about being part of the digital divide. That's part of digital discombobulation. Kanang maglisod na ka o interpret, maglisod na ka o trabaho ko with kay hana kay technology, TikTok na ba ka, Shopee na ba ka, mag-asa na kadapit mo ato, nanakoy ba ko, nanakoy ka mo register. Those are things happening in digital world. And the academic
School
integrity.
situation.
Now the question, there's a question. For example, kay GPT man no, nagpahimo ka dito og sumata
Nag-analyze ko
or
sa
saw
iya
or
data, kibala ko siya matagan
poem ka na or poem. Okay. Muhatag man gina siya na ingon mo nga being novel, different from others existing poem. So muhatag gina si GPT. The question now, who owns the copyright or the IP for that? Si model ba nga nag-create or si user na nag-prompt
Copy na nimo.
dito? Wag kang siya.
Una kong gihimo na
Ikaw
ma'am.
na lang dahil na ito. Ikaw
Sa
na
man.
sa ako.
Oo.
Kinsa may managsiya ato. Di man ko to imong
Oto,
kaugalingon
nakatabang
na
sa ako,
novel
ma'am, kauwala, ma'am, na.
Di man ikaw
Run out of
makakisip
words, gid ko,
ato.
ma'am.
Nakaisip na yung kay
Sa isa.
So strategy man to nimo, may strategy to man
Si Ma'am Lucille gusto nga by
That's
kitsi sa
also
akong
one of the
presentation
area
sa
for
current situation.
discussions. The novelty, the copyright,
By
and
stage 1 or
integrity of the
elementary, junior, ug
product
senior,
or
ma'am. Dapat
something
nga ato mga
produced by
makita ko yung
the
tabular niya, tabular, ug ipa-interpret.
IS1.
Okay, so AI matters because it can either reduce burdens and expand access, or worsen inequality if only some schools and learners benefit. So, kana lagi ako ng gusto ko.
Nakailan na nimo. Kaya usahay.
Right.
Uy, may
So,
nagsasabi.
things that we can consider, AI should be technology or people-centered principle. AI should serve people, not replace people. AI should enhance human relationships, values, and ethics. Machines can assist, but do not possess compassion or moral judgment. And people remain at the core of teaching, mentoring, and leading. Leadership is a key variable. Two don't transform education. You do. Leaders do transform education. Leaders set policy, culture, and guardrails. Strategy plus ethics plus capacity building will transform schools not through technology alone, but through wise decisions and strategy, ethics, and safeguards. Leadership decisions shape AI schools. So, kinahanglan gihapon, kita gihapon ang maningkamot because we are the decision makers in how AI will be governing our institutions. Right? So AI now in